Collective, you are so ready for the next chapter of your life. Okay, I'm getting that this collective, you have been finding the balance between being a dreamer and having, practicality in your life. Okay, and you have gone through this in stages. I'm getting at the start of your life, or maybe a few years ago, you were someone who had the typical plan of life: go to school, get a degree, get a job, marry, have a family, and then, leave the earth, I guess. But I'm getting that life has other plans that you weren't ready for. And at first, you were so resistant to this because you felt like you already had a plan and you did not understand why everything was not going according to plan. And through your life falling apart, in quotation marks by the way, through your life falling apart, you have found the dreamer in you, because you are a creative being, creative soul, and you have embraced those things. And this is a way of life that isn't typically celebrated by society, especially if you are not famous or you don't have monetary things. But the life you have been living, slow living, creative living, just being present, goes against the hustle and bustle of this world. And you have learned to accept that within yourself and love it. But now I'm getting in this next chapter that you are literally a few pages away from. It requires balance. You have had the taste of living life practically, and you have had the taste of living the life like in an idealistic way, romanticizing life way, the creative way. And in this next chapter, you are asked to use your experiences in these different ways of living and sort of merge those mindsets for the next life you're living, because collective, this world, this life we're living is not about this or that. It's about the balance. It's about the balance. And because we are humans, okay, we will never reach the perfect balance, but we can strive towards it, right? Some people will have a little more practicality than creativity, some more creativity than practicality, But the only thing you should never be is either or, because practicality is not inherently bad. Okay? Practicality, being practical, is part of who we are as human beings. It's just that some people are more it than others. It's not inherently bad, and this is why now when you think about the decisions you make, even though you're still in this free creative freedom, romanticizing life, idealizing, being idealistic, you're finding that you are mixing it with a little bit of logic now, and you may feel like no, but why am I suddenly, am I gonna be am I going back to the prison of practicality again? No. You can never unsee what you have seen. You can never know what you have known. Okay? You can never undone the work you have done. So do not be afraid of the logic that you're noticing in your decisions and in your thinking, because the next chapter you're gonna get to in your life needs that good mixture of romanticizing life, of dreaming, of fantasizing, of whimsy, but also of practicality. Examples of this is you will find that you're excited to date again, and you may be looking forward to the romance, to the dates, to the flirting, but then you may be asking deeper questions like, what does this person value? Does it match my values? Where does this person live? Can we make it work if we live so and so apart? What is the socio-economic status of this person? Can we make it work? You know what I mean? If you are thinking of careers, I love helping people. I want to save the world. I want to this and this. But do the systems of my country work? Like, will this career feel like I'm, swimming against a current? Okay, is the amount of training and learning worth the pay? You're considering so much other things right now, and it is not a bad thing. You may be thinking you may have taken this decision while you were in your practical era, and you may be rethinking it again, and you are just a whole new different person. Okay, a whole new different person. And in this next chapter, let go of fears, because I'm getting that you fear that you're gonna mess it up, and you fear that you are gonna go back. There's this sense of fear that you fear, like feeling like you're stepping back into the matrix, sort of. You know what I mean? Because of some of the things you've been thinking about, like picture this, like this collective. It's like if you were starved for so long, and then you were put in another phase of your life, you were put into a room full of food, full of food, and you ate and ate and ate and ate and ate and ate and ate. But then once you started getting familiar to the feeling of fullness, and now you're not starving anymore. Actually, now you over feed yourself, and then you get to a point where you're like, you know what? It's okay to have food. It's okay to eat when I'm hungry, but then it's okay to stop and not eat sometimes. And then when I'm hungry again, I have food. I will never not have food again. It's the same mindset. You did not, your creativity, your sense of wonder, your sense of whimsy was taken from you by very hard life experiences, and life made it so that you experience that again. And now you realize that there is a balance that needs to be taken. Practicality and idealism, being idealistic. So this could be a decision about maybe where you should stay, a career path, or a lover. This could be a decision according to that. Do not be afraid to tap into your logic in this chapter, and because I'm getting that you will have an almost perfect balance of these two things, and this will allow you to have a well-rounded life. Okay, because when you are a creative, it's very easy to be swept into the fantasy, but we are learning that we can be in our heads, can be in the clouds, and our feet be grounded in reality. We're not being swept off in the clouds, but we're not planting ourselves too much in reality that we don't explore the sky. Our head is in the clouds, but our feet are grounded in reality. That is the balance that we are striving for in this next chapter. See you next time.